Hello everyone, welcome to Aspire Academy. Today we are going to deal with the subtopic classification of animals. Okay, how the animals are being classified, and the specific part that we are going to cover is non-chordata. How non-chordates are being classified. Okay, so this is the part of animal kingdom chapter which is the topic of class 11. Okay, so this is the first lecture on this classification of non-chordates. So we'll see firstly what are animals and what are non-chordates, and after that we'll go to the classification part. First of all, what is animal kingdom? Okay, we know all the living organisms on this earth can be classified broadly. Agar aap dekho, so that is plants and animal, but we have the proper 5 kingdom classification. Okay, in that 5 kingdom classification also we come to know that the last kingdom is the animal kingdom. Okay, so animal kingdom, it is the largest kingdom with over 1 million. ठीक है, और आप सिर्फ not 1 million, it is just like millions of species are there. Okay, over million of species discovered till now, and still many more species are not discovered. Okay, so it is the largest kingdom. These vast species, जितने भी vast species है, as we know, millions and millions of species are there. Okay, so they have different structural form. So the body structures, function, the body is performing. So different organisms have different structural and functional diversity. Okay, so hence the need of classification has become more and more important, so that we can study different animals and the different organisms. So the science of classifying organism, this is known as taxonomy. What is taxonomy? The science of classifying the organism. Okay, so every species discovered so far till now, whatever species has been discovered has been classified into 5 kingdoms. And among that 5 kingdom that we have seen Monera, Protista, fungi, Plantia, and the last one is the kingdom Animalia. Okay, so that is animal kingdom. So among them, the kingdom Animalia or animal kingdom is the last one, okay, which include all the organism. Okay, so we will see what are the organisms that are being covered in this animal kingdom. Okay, so the member of the kingdom Animalia can be classified further. First of all, 5 kingdom classification has been given, but after that, that specific animal kingdom can also be classified on into different categories. Okay, so we can classify them in different categories based on the certain characteristics. The characteristics which resembles in 2 different organism, or what is the similarity, उस basis पे भी हम लोग classify कर सकते हैं, and that is the different categories, that is phyla, or we can say phylum, class, order, family, genus, and the last one is the species. Okay, and the last one is species. Okay, so these are the different categories on which animals from the animal kingdom can be classified. Okay, so classification of animals. Animals can include, animal kingdom whole include about total phyla. First one, we have seen the classification category: phylum, class, order, family, genus, then species. So kingdom Animalia include 35 phyla. Total अगर पूरे आप organisms का classification देखोगे, the phylum total, that is 35, of which 11 phyla are considered as a major phyla, the biggest phyla. ठीक है, उनमें भी जो सबसे बड़े बड़े phylum है, total 11, and that is आप देखोगे next rest others, they are the also the phylum but not the major one. The animals can be categorized into 2 groups. ठीक है, सबसे पहले पूरे animals को आप classify कर सकते हैं within the 2 groups on the basis of presence or absence of backbone. Whether the backbone is present or not, तो उस basis पे आप classify कर सकते whole living animals into 2 categories. First one is invertebrate and the another one is vertebrates. Okay, so the broad classification is based on the presence or the absence of backbone. Okay, so invertebrates or invertebrata, ठीक है, and the rest, another one is vertebrates. What is invertebrate? Animal without backbone. There is no backbone, then we can call them invertebrate. Without backbone, invertebrate. Okay? And if the backbone is present, that means animals are with backbone, so we can classify them as vertebrates. So if we are going to see invertebrates, so total invertebrates अगर आप देखा जाए जितने भी animal kingdom, 99% of them are invertebrate and only the 1% are representing vertebrates. 99 invertebrates है 99% and the only 1%, okay, they are vertebrates. That means they are having their backbone. Okay, so and we must also remember one thing, that animals are multicellular. ठीक है, ज्यादातर जितने animals है they are multicellular. Okay. Now, animals are also categorized into two on the basis of presence and the absence of notochord. Okay, so notochord at the some stage of life, whether in any stage of the life, if notochord is present, so on that basis also animals are being classified. So that classification is non-chordates, that means absence of notochord, and chordates, that is presence of notochord. Agar notochord hai, then we can say them chordates. नोटोकॉर्ड नहीं है, नॉन कॉर्डेट्स. एक क्लासिफिकेशन था एंड ऑन द प्रेजेंस ऑफ और एब्सेंस ऑफ बैकबोन, दैट इज इनवर्टिब्रेट एंड वर्टिब्रेट्स. एंड नाउ प्रेजेंस और एब्सेंस ऑफ नोटोकॉर्ड अगर आप देख रहे हो, बेसिस ले रहे हो क्लासिफिकेशन का, देन दे कैन बी क्लासिफाइड एज नॉन कॉर्डेट्स एंड कॉर्डेट्स. ओके, सो in this diagram you can see here, this is the organism pharyngeal, ठीक है, pharyngeal pouches are there, dorsal tubular nerve cord, यहाँ पे nerve cord है, उसके बाद notochord also you can see, ठीक है, nerve cord, and then the red one here it is marked. Okay, so this part, that is notochord. Notochord है present, then they are chordata or chordates. No notochord, ठीक है, then simply non-chordates. Okay. Now, non-chordates. What are non-chordates and how can we identify that the animals are non-chordate or chordate? Okay, so animals that do not have, okay, non-chordate, that means they do not have the rod-like structure, do not have the rod-like structure that is known as notochord in their body, and they are termed as non-chordates. Essentially, these phylum include, or कौन से animal phylum that includes the non-chordate? Okay, so animals like marine species as well as a member of the phylum Porifera, Coelenterata, Cnidaria, Actinophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, ठीक है, Echinodermata, and even the Hemichordata, all are among this non-chordate. Okay, means they don't have notochord or the rod-like structure. Okay, the cord-like structure is not present in them. So all the kingdom, that is Porifera से लेके आपका Echinodermata, and the last one Hemichordata, ठीक है, which is not totally in the invertebrates में नहीं आता है. Okay, so all these are non-chordates. So they are considered to be the part of this non-chordate group. Okay. Now, we'll see what are chordates. Non-chordates means they don't have the notochord or the rod-like structure. So, animal body that are featured with the presence of the rod-like structure, okay, with the presence of the notochord or the rod-like structure during any point of their life stage. Okay, lifespan में, during their whole lifespan, if in any of the stage also they are having this notochord, then they will be called as chordates. Okay. So, the member of this group includes or characterized by pharyngeal gill slit. So, the chordates, they have pharyngeal gill slits. Pehla important baat, this is the first characteristics of the chordates, and hollow nerve cord. एक तो pharyngeal gill slits होंगे and दूसरा hollow nerve cord should be present. Okay, these are the two important characteristic features of chordates. Okay, so some of the basic characteristic features rest apart from this pharyngeal gill slits and the hollow nerve cord. There are the another characteristic features with the which the chordate must have. The chordates are divided into large numbers, okay, and protochordates are one of those to be evolved at the earliest time. Okay, so protochordates, that means अगर आप देखोगे पहला क्लासिफिकेशन अगर आप एनिमल को क्लासिफाई करते हो, so first one is non-chordate, then protochordate, then the advanced one, that is chordata. So protochordate, they have the notochord in some of their life stage, ठीक है, and so they are known as protochordates. So in some animal, the presence of chordate can be found in the entire body, पूरे body में होगा from the head to tail, okay, whereas in some animal it must be present in the part of their larval tail, या तो larval tail में होगा, और कुछ animal ऐसे हैं जिनके head to tail the notochord must be present. Okay, so in this diagram you can see, in this diagram you can see the intestine part of the organism, stomach hai, heart hai, okay, pharynx part is also there, mouth, brain, pharyngeal gill slits, this part, okay, ye pharyngeal gill slit is also visible. Then here the most important thing, dorsal hollow nerve cord, dorsal hollow nerve cord, and below that you can see notochord. Okay, below that there is notochord. Okay, post-anal tail, but the important thing to mark over here, one is the notochord, then the dorsal hollow nerve cord, okay, and pharyngeal gill slit. So these are the important characteristic features of chordates. Okay. Now we can differentiate between non-chordates and chordates. Okay. So notochord is absent, then it is non-chordate. Notochord present, it is chordate. ठीक है, अगर नॉन कॉर्डेट है तो सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टम जो होगा, ब्रेन एंड ब्रेन स्पाइनल कॉर्ड वाला पार्ट, ठीक है, सो देयर सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टम इज वेंट्रल, सॉलिड एंड डबल. वेंट्रल होगा, सॉलिड एंड डबल द सेंट्रल नर्वस सिस्टम. बट इन द कॉर्डेट्स, okay, central nervous system is dorsal, okay, hollow and single. Okay, non-chordates gill slit will be absent, chordates में gill slit present होगा. Okay, so pharynx perforated by the gill slit. Pharynx part जो है, pharynx, that should be perforated, means छोटे छोटे openings होंगे, holes होंगे, and by they are the gill slits. So heart is dorsal in non-chordate. Non-chordate's heart, they are being placed dorsally. Okay, if present, heart अगर present है, dorsal region में present होगा. Chordates, they have the ventral heart in the ventral region, like we. Okay, post-anal tail is absent in the non-chordates. Okay, and even the gut is dorsal to the nerve cord. Nerve cord है, उसके dorsal region पे present है gut region. Okay, and in the chordates, the post-anal tail is present. Okay, and gut is ventral to the nerve cord. तो यहाँ पे chordates में आपने देखा जो gut region, digestive tract होगा, वो ventral region पे present होगा. But in the non-chordates, they are present in the dorsal region. Okay, so basic classic differences है. Now we can say whole animal kingdom. Okay, animals we know all are multicellular. Okay, so animals has been classified on the basis of the, here you can see kingdom, level of organization. It's a basis पे हम classify कर सकते हैं whether they are being having the tissues, they are formed of tissues, organ system है. Okay, or whether it is of cellular level. Okay, symmetry कैसा है, body cavity is present or not. Okay, and the phylum here you can see. So we are going to see how and which type of symmetry, which type of body organization is formed in the different organism. ठीक है, in the different phylum, especially यहाँ पे phylum को देखेंगे. Okay, so firstly animals, they can be either tissue organ or organ system organization present हो सकता है, या तो cellular level के भी हो सकते हैं. Either the organism are of cellular level, that it is made up of cell, or it can also be made of tissues, organ or organ system. ठीक है, so now when we come to the cellular level, cells के बने हैं, that is the phylum Porifera. ठीक है, Porifera includes the organism, they are found, the level of organization is cellular level. Okay, And if we can see tissue, organ and organ system से अगर बना है organism, firstly they will have the symmetry that is bilateral and radial symmetry. Bilateral means the organism can be divided into two equal halves. ठीक है, one organism can be divided into two equal halves, so that is bilateral symmetry. Okay, now the radial symmetry. Okay, so radial symmetry में आप बहुत सारी equal half में divide कर सकते हो organism को. So radial symmetry is found in Ctenophora and Coelenterata, which is also known as Coelenterata, that is Cnidaria. So radial symmetry, Ctenophora and Coelenterata. Okay, so bilateral symmetry अगर देखें, so without the body cavity, if the organisms are without body cavity, कुछ ऐसे organism है जिनमें bilateral symmetry तो है, but either they are acoelomate or pseudocoelomate or coelom is present, that is a true coelom present है. So we can see without body cavity, that is acoelomate, they are platyhelminthes. Okay, phylum platyhelminthes, they are acoelomate, means there is no coelom and they are even having bilateral symmetry. Okay, and they are having tissue grade of organization. Okay, with false coelom, that is pseudocoelom, that is present in Aschelminthes. Okay, and true coelom where it is present, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, Hemichordata and the Chordata, all phylum. इनमें से जितने आप phylum देख रहे हो, all are having true coelom, true body cavity. They are having radial here, not radial, but it is having bilateral symmetry, क्योंकि radial तो सिर्फ Ctenophora and Coelenterata में दिख रहा है. Okay, so we are going to see what is given in this text form also. Basic of classification, किस basis पे classify किया गया है organism को. So the animal kingdom has been classified. Okay, kingdom animal has been classified based on the different critical and essential characteristics. What are the different characteristics on which we are classifying? On that basis we are classifying. Firstly, level of organization कैसा है, cellular है, tissue है, organ है, organ system, grade of organization. On that basis we are going to classify. What is the symmetry, radial or bilateral? What is the habitat, pattern of the organ system? So on this basis we are going to classify. Then the level of organization. First one classification का क्या था, level of organization. So 4 level of organization. The first one cellular level, tissue level, body level. ठीक है. So then there is body organ level, it should be. Cell tissues, यहाँ पे organ level, body organ level, and then organ system level of organization. Okay. Next part क्या था, cellular level of organization, where it is found. At the cellular level of organization, the cells are arranged in the loose aggregates. Cells are arranged. So this is seen in the phylum Porifera. Example है इसका sponges. Okay, sponges belongs to Porifera. Tissue level where we can see this organization जिसमें organism का whole body tissue से बना है. The tissue, the cell that perform the same function. So we know what is tissue. A group of cells that is having the similar function, okay, that perform the same function are organized into tissue. So tissue level of organization where we can see coelentrates. Okay, in coelentrates we can easily see this tissue level. Organ level of organization, जिससे पूरा organ system has been developed in the organism. At the level of organ organization, tissues are grouped. Okay, tissues are grouped together and they are resulting in the formation of organ, and each organ is specialized, and we know different organ have their particular function. और ये चीज organ level means organ बन चुके हैं, ये चीज आप कहाँ देख सकते हो, phylum Platyhelminthes. Okay, then organ system, और that means यहाँ तक Platyhelminthes में हमने देखा कि organs develop हुए, but here whole organ system, जैसे हमारे पास है digestive system, respiratory system, excretory system, so systems भी बन चुके हैं. So at the organs level, organ system level of organization, organs associate to form the function. ठीक है, so such as, और ये कहाँ कहाँ आपको देखने मिलेंगे, arthropods, annelida, chordates, echinoderms and even mollusca. ओके, दैट मीन्स यहाँ पे ऑर्गन सिस्टम आपको एग्जाम्पल सर्कुलेटरी, रेस्पिरेटरी, डाइजेस्टिव, ये सारे सिस्टम देखने मिलेंगे। ओके, और ये कहाँ है? फाइलम आर्थ्रोपोडा, मोलास्का, इकाइनोडर्माटा, एनीलिडा। ओके, नाउ बॉडी सिमेट्री। बॉडी आइदर द ऑर्गेनिज्म, या तो एनिमल का बॉडी एसिमेट्री हो, आप इक्वल मींस इक्वल हाफ में डिवाइड नहीं कर सकते हो, सो वी विल कॉल इट एसिमेट्रिक, radial symmetry and bilateral. So what is asymmetry? Organism under the asymmetric body symmetry cannot be divided into two halves. Organism cannot be divided if they are having asymmetrical body symmetry. So इसमें सबसे important example है, they are sponges which belongs to porifera. They are the example of asymmetrical body symmetry. So they don't have any symmetry. Okay. Now there is radial body symmetry. So organism falling under this radial body symmetry can be divided into two identical half by any plane. By any plane we can divide them through the central axis, and this is seen in coelenterate, echinodermata and even ctenophora. Echinodermata के कुछ stage में ही दिखता है, ठीक है, not in the whole life stage. Now, bilateral symmetry, that means we can cut them into two equal half. Organism falling under this can be divided into two identical, ठीक है, left and right half. Left part और right part equally आप divide कर सकते हो through a single plane. एक plane पे अगर आप cut कर सकते हो, so there is bilateral. So any plane if you can cut, ठीक है, any plane से अगर cut कर सकते हो through the central axis, then they are radial symmetry they are having. Or bilateral symmetry, Annelida, Arthropoda, we can see. Okay. Now about germ layer. Okay, that means the body is made up of the different layer. So based on the germ layer, animal can be classified as either they are diploblastic or triploblastic. Okay, diplo, that means two. Two germ layer agar present hai organism mein, so they are diploblast or diploblastic. And if three germ layer is present, okay, three body layers are there, so we can simply call them triploblastic. Okay, so diploblastic organism, they are having two germ layer arranged in the two embryonic layer. Germ layer, that is the embryonic layer. So first one, outer one जो होगा ectoderm, and the inner one, that is endoderm. Okay, और ecto और endoderm के बीच में, ठीक है, ectoderm है dermal layer और एंडोडर्म है, ठीक है। अगर ये वाला आप बोल सकते हो एंडोडर्म, सो द आउटर वन इज एक्टोडर्म. ओके, द टू germ layer, and between this there should be present so also an undifferentiated layer that is known as mesoglia is present. ठीक है, तो mesoglia का भी एक layer present होता है in the middle, but it is undifferentiated, means आप easily उसे differentiate नहीं कर पाओगे. Okay, so that is diploblastic में outer ecto, inner endo, and there is mesoglia that is also present. Okay, so here you can see germ layer or germinal layer can be seen. ठीक है, diploblastic organism है. आउटर लेयर, ये सारा जो आउटर वाला लेयर है किससे बना है? एक्टोडर्म का बना है, ठीक है. एंड द इनर वन, गट के जो इनर लाइनिंग वाला पार्ट आप देख रहे हो, दैट इज एंडोडर्म. एंड बिटवीन दिस टू देयर इज अ पिंक वन जो आप देख रहे हो, दैट इज मेसोग्लिया. ओके, और यही आप ट्रिप्लोब्लास्ट में ऑर्गेनिज्म में देखोगे, द आउटर मोस्ट लेयर दैट इज एक्टोडर्म, गट वाला रीजन है एंडोडर्म, एंड इन बिटवीन दिस टू यहाँ पे जो आप देखोगे दिस लेयर, दिस लेयर, ठीक है, ये है मेसोडर्म. ओके, सो द डेवलपिंग एम्ब्रियो हैज अ थर्ड मेसोडर्म ऑफ द germ layer between the ecto and the endo. Then अगर मेसोडर्म इन बिटवीन प्रेजेंट है एक्टो और एंडोडर्म के, सो दे आर द ऑर्गेनिज्म, दे आर ट्रिप्लोब्लास्ट. ट्रिप्लोब्लास्ट में 3 germ layer है, डिप्लोब्लास्ट में 2 है, बट इन बिटवीन देयर इज मेसोग्लिया, बट इट इज अनडिफरेंशिएटेड, मींस वी कैन नॉट क्लियरली आइडेंटिफाई कि ये मेसोग्लिया का लेयर कहां से कहां तक है, वी कैन नॉट आइडेंटिफाई क्लियरली. ओके, नाउ द होल नॉन कॉर्डेट इंक्लूड्स द फाइलम. अगर आप नॉन कॉर्डेट्स को क्लासिफाई करोगे, सो देयर आर द डिफरेंट फाइलम. द फर्स्ट वन पोरिफेरा, पोर बियरिंग ऑर्गेनिज्म, ठीक है. देन देयर आर coelentrates, coelentrata, then टीनोफोरा, प्लैटीहेलमिन्थस, ठीक है, प्लैटीहेलमिन्थस, एस्कहेलमिन्थस, एनीलिडा आर्थ्रोपोडा, मोलास्का, इकाइनोडर्माटा, ये नॉन कॉर्डेट्स का क्लासिफिकेशन. These are the different phylum, okay, the non-chordates that belongs to this phylum. Non-chordates जितने भी होंगे इनमें से ही कोई phylum के होंगे. Okay, so animal kingdom are broadly classified how? As non-chordates and chordates. Okay, so non-chordate में आपने देखा जितने invertebrates है, okay, so invertebrates they are having porifera, coelenterata, nidaria, platyhelminthes, okay, नेमाटोडा, एनीलिडा, आर्थ्रोपोडा, मोलास्का, इकाइनोडर्माटा, ये सारा किस में आता है? इन्वर्टिब्रेट्स है, मतलब ये सारे नॉन कॉर्डेट्स भी है, दे डोंट हैव नोटोकॉर्ड. ओके, देन कम्स कॉर्डेट्स. कॉर्डेट्स में भी आप देख रहे हो देयर आर इन्वर्टिब्रेट्स आल्सो एंड वर्टिब्रेट. वर्टिब्रेट दे आर हैविंग प्रॉपर वर्टिब्रल कॉलम, ठीक है, बैकबोन है जिसका, वो सारे वर्टिब्रेट में आ गए. जिसके बैकबोन नहीं है दे आर इनवर्टिब्रेट्स. बैकबोन तो नहीं है प्रोटोकॉर्डेटा का, ठीक है, बट दे हैव नोटोकॉर्ड, सो दे आर इनवर्टिब्रेट्स बट बिलोंग्स टू कॉर्डेट. ओके, now we have came to the end of this classification of the animal, and in the next part, next lecture, we are going to cover up the different phylum. Okay, and we know the first phylum, that is the Porifera, Coelenterata. In this way we will go on. So thank you for watching.